Hello again. Welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley, and this is class 2 of the TOEFL Reading Blitz. All right, we're doing a crazy succession of classes here at www.verbling.com, and we are looking at the ever so difficult, challenging, but not unconquerable TOEFL reading test. In this hour of our 5-hour series, we are going to look at question types. This is important because you kind of need to use a slightly different strategy for different questions in the exam. And we're going to look at that and actually slowly practice some of the question types as we go along. And then we'll graduate to actually practicing the test in our next class and for our next 3 classes. Okay. Let's see here. Hello, Faisal again.
Hello, teacher.
You're still here. You haven't fallen over yet. That's good.
Yeah, I just find out what is TOEFL one. What kind of new technique? Yeah, I just learned about new technique framing. Just simplify the really complicated sentences into the simple sentence.
I know.
That's
Yeah, and I know that you're interested in. I'm sorry to interrupt. I know that you're interested in IELTS, but that same strategy works for IELTS as well. Definitely.
okay.
Okay. Hello again, Michael.
Hi. Okay. Trivia question. What is opposite of TOEFL test? What test is opposite?
The LFOEOT test.
No. What is that? I never heard.
I'm just being an idiot.
No, but seriously.
Yeah. Okay.
What? Test is opposite by here hint by how is difficult by difficulty.
Okay.
So TOEFL is the most difficult. What is the most easy?
Okay. Here. This is my stupid answer in the Verbling chat box. The opposite is the LFOEOT. I just wrote it backwards. What is the okay?
No.
All right. I know. I'm just kidding. Okay, if the TOEFL test is the most difficult, what is the easiest? That depends. That totally depends.
So I don't remember the name, but you used to do lessons. So there's basically like customer service, like how to say hello,
TOEIC.
how may I help? Yeah, TOEIC. It's the opposite.
Yeah, well, the TOEIC test is easy if you have a background in customer service. If you have no background in customer service, for academic students, for example, it's not easy. You know, if you have any background in this kind of work, then it's a lot easier. But if you have zero, it can be quite difficult because then they have to learn not only English, they have to learn customer service.
Do you know what is the golden rule in TOEIC test?
TOEIC test?
Yeah, golden rule.
Golden rule? No. What do you mean by that? I'm not sure.
Apologize, and again apologize. That's my joke of the day.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but okay.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah. Sorry. Right. You have to use customer service intonation, the whole 9 yards, you know. At least you don't have to do any of that for IELTS or TOEFL. Thank heavens. Okay. Quickly, I'm going to run down, and then we're actually going to look at all of these types. This is a lot of material. I don't know if we'll get through it. There are basically 10 or 11 types of questions. The first 10 questions are usually 1 point each. This last question is sometimes worth 2 points or even 3 points, or possibly, I have seen, it's worth 4 points. Vocabulary and context, very simple. The highlighted, highlighted words in the reading passage, you're going to have to figure out what the vocabulary means, usually what a synonym is. A reference question, it often would be a pronoun. What pronoun is what is the noun being referenced by a pronoun? It's often how they use this. Sometimes they get tricky and they use maybe a relative pronoun, or sometimes an adverb or adjective phrase which is actually functioning as a pronoun. You can one strategy, by the way, another thing in reference to question types, a strategy that many use successfully in TOEFL, and I have taught this before and had a great deal of success. Again, merely a suggestion, just advice, but you may want to try it, and that is called using the two-pass method. We mentioned in the last class that you can both go back, skip questions as well. You have a review button which will show you which questions you have not answered yet. There are question types which are actually fairly easy, and there are question types which are much more difficult. One strategy is to do all the easy questions, go to the end of the test, then push review, then tackle the hard questions. This way you get all the easy questions taken care of first, which may optimize your score. And because of the functionality of the actual interface you're using, this works. It is possible to do this in the IELTS test as well, because there's obviously question types, but it's because of the functionality here, it's very fast and easy to do it. Vocabulary, easy question. Reference question, generally quite easy. That's why it says do these on your first pass. Lead words. Some questions refer to a word highlighted in gray in the passage. Okay, these are very similar to vocabulary, quite easy. All right, detail. Okay, they're asking about specific facts lifted from the passage. These are very easy. Okay, they may ask for dates or someone's name, which all you have to do is find it. It's right in the passage. So those are very easy. Paraphrase questions. Okay, you have to paraphrase a sentence. You're given like A, B, C, D. Which sentence means the same as this sentence? Generally, an easier question. Definition question goes the opposite way of the vocabulary question of the vocabulary and context. Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry. You're looking for. It's similar, but not quite the same. You're looking for the writer or author is actually defining one of his terms, and you have to find that. It takes a little bit more time, but generally easy. Again, it's in the reading passage. Another note here, before I forget, just like IELTS, keep in mind that the TOEFL reading passage, all the answers are in the passage. You cannot use information which you already know about this topic. You're definitely going to lead yourself astray. In fact, it's happened to me quite often as I'm reviewing this material. I may strongly disagree with the author about, for example, an opinion piece. I may have already formed my own opinion in my own background life or academic life or whatever. The problem is I cannot use my own opinion to color what is in the reading passage. So I may have to choose answers which I strongly think are stupid. But so be it. Again, I'm answering questions in reference to the passage, regardless of what I know or believe. Okay. Before, after, I don't even know if they have these questions anymore. Yeah, I think they do. These are rare. What kind of paragraph would precede or follow the passage? I'm not even sure if those exist anymore, actually. Sentence insertion, these definitely exist. These are time-consuming questions because you have no choice but to, they'll give you a sentence, and what you have to do is you have to insert it into where a black square is and read it. Read the sentence before, read the sentence after. Does it make sense? You're going, in order, you almost definitely have to stop and start, stop and start, stop and start 4 times. So you'll have 4 squares. So you have to, it's time consuming, but it's not that hard. Except, not least, okay, these are difficult. Okay, these in IELTS parlance, these would be true, false, not given questions. They're basically the same thing. Okay, these come in different forms. The 4 answers. Okay, the article says everything except this. These 4 reasons are important. Which one is the least important? Okay, so you're looking for things that aren't there, so you have to look at everything. So they take a longer because you have to, again, like sentence insertion, you have to look at each possible answer. It's not like you can get to the right answer and decide that's it. Because you absolutely have to use process of elimination. Inference questions, definitely difficult. These are the ones that teachers argue about themselves. Okay, I just barely said all the information is in the passage. Well, all right, an inference question will ask you for implied or something that is suggested by the passage, so maybe it's not exactly in the passage, but keep this in mind, TOEFL uses a very narrow interpretation of what inference means, what you can guess. It's going to be, the answer is going to be something you can guess that is so blatantly obvious it cannot be anything but that answer. And there you go, it must be true based on the information in the passage. It has to be true. All right, but it does take some thinking, and they do give you tricky answers to fool you. Summary questions, many find these time-consuming and extremely difficult. This takes time and analysis, and you have to really concentrate to do this. Okay, so if you're going to use the 2-pass method, basically what you're looking at on the second pass is maybe these 3, especially the last 2, inference and summary. Summary, you're looking at a table. They're easy to spot immediately. Okay, let's take a look. Now, I had included this passage in, you can refer to it. It was in the description of the class. Let's look at these question types. Okay. This is what a vocabulary question looks like. The word occasion in the passage is closest in meaning to. All right, I don't really have to spend any time rewording this. This is obvious. Occasion means what in the passage? Okay, it won't label it as a vocabulary and context question, but you should easily recognize it. It has the highlighted word, shaded gray, for example. Okay, let's take a look. All right, go. You will be able to see the paragraph where this occurs right next to the question. You don't have to go
Cause.
moving papers around. Cause.
Cause. Yeah.
You sound like a crow, Michael.
Like what?
Like a crow.
What is crow?
Crow, a blackbird that eats corn,
Oh, okay.
and it
Okay.
makes the sound call.
That's my pronunciation. Cause.
No, it's fine. I'm getting punchy. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I do believe you're correct, but the strategy. All right. Obviously, you don't have to spend any time searching. Thank goodness. So this is a fast question. You should read sentences. Obviously, the sentence it's in, perhaps the sentence before, and the sentence after. Definitely, your strategy is going to be trying to substitute the possible A, B, C, D, it's going to be multiple choice, into the passage. Okay, so multiply, cause, demonstrate, limit. All right. This fact should not multiply surprise. Now, this fact should not cause surprise. Yes, okay, that makes a lot more sense. That clearly makes sense. Okay, another strategy. Multiply maybe. Cause definitely sounds good. I'm not going to stop though. You will, on occasion, as you're substituting, oh, that sounds good, but you go a couple more, and oh, that one sounds even better. All right. So you should try substituting other ones. This fact should not demonstrate surprise. Well, a fact can't demonstrate surprise. Only a human being can be surprised, not a fact. So that's just stupid. I can eliminate that, cross it out. Nope. Limit. This fact should not limit surprise. Okay, make surprise less. That almost works.
But the collocation with surprise is cause.
The normal collocation?
Yeah,
if you know
the normal.
that's
I know that.
You're
There is no demonstrator limit surprise. I never heard this kind of
well, actually, there are
constructions.
Actually, there is. Demonstrate surprise. He demonstrated surprise when he saw his birthday cake. It is possible, but very rare. Yes. Multiply surprise. No, that collocation doesn't exist. And limit surprise is also a very strange collocation. You're absolutely right. If you know the collocations, that will definitely speed up your test taking ability. So there may be possibilities. You may try just looking first at the immediate phrase, and maybe something will make perfect sense. However, sometimes that can be problematic because there may be, as I just demonstrated with demonstrate, there may be more than one collocation, which is possible. In which case, you're going to have to look a little before, a little after. That's the idea. So the strategy to use process of elimination, substitute the possible choice words. If it still is not clear, you're going to have to back up in the reading. So, okay. So there you go. That's basically it.
Let's move
that's all you're doing.
Second question.
Okay.
That's kind of easy.
Yes, they are. Okay, vocabulary contest. Okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, reference questions. All right. The phrase, this arrangement in the passage refers to. Oh, okay. See, they're using a demonstrative phrase, demonstrative with a noun. Okay, so it is not directly a pronoun. Okay, so we have to figure out what this arrangement refers to. Obviously, we actually a strategy here may be to not look at these possible answers at all. Instead, go directly to the reading passage. We're not concerned about what comes after. No, because obviously a reference question, when you see refers to, you know it's a reference question. We're talking about previous material. So what is this referring to? Ishmael, we figured it out? If you read this here.
There are points on the body where it does not form, since flexibility is needed around joints. This arrangement.
Okay, so what is this arrangement?
Something on the body, some points on the body.
Okay. All right, something does not form on points of the body. What? What doesn't form? That might help too.
Does not form points on the body, since flexibility.
I think we can just back up a little bit. I think they're talking about the executicle does not form on certain points of the body. Okay, just all you have to do is back up a little bit.
Durable.
All right, well, let's look. Points of the body. Okay, so you came up with points of the body. So low number of joints? No. Absence of the executicle on certain parts of the body. Sound good? What do you think, Ishmael?
The low number of anthropoid toughness of the composition of the absence of one certain part of the body.
What do you think?
D is not correct.
D is not correct.
C is not correct.
C is not correct. I agree.
A and B,
What?
A and B, I think.
Okay, well, I mean, you just said it yourself. Certain points of the body. And I mentioned that, oh, what is a not on certain points? Okay, the executicle. So we got all our keywords. Executicle, certain, they say parts instead of points. That's what they do in this test. They'll use synonyms instead of direct quotes, direct vocabulary.
B is correct, I think.
B is totally correct. The absence, the lack. We said executicle, certain points of the body, certain parts of the body. Yeah, absolutely. 100% sure. So the strategy for this type of question is actually don't even look at the answers. Go directly to the reading and see if you should be able to figure out exactly what they're referring to. You just did. All right? You said certain points of the body. So all right, it's as simple as that. Then you know.
Should I not try to understand the passage or only choose the keywords and
that's all you're trying to
do?
Okay, that's the object of this class. For this specific type of question, actually it would only distract you trying to understand everything in the paragraph or everything in the whole article. That's That's not the point. All you're trying to do is understand one pronoun.
Okay.
That's it. Everything else is a distraction. So as directly and quickly as you can, you did it extremely quickly. You said, that's it. You said certain points of the body. Boom. Okay. We didn't even look at the answers. And then, okay, I think it has to do with points of the body. Okay, the only answer here, which on certain parts of the body, then I don't even have to mess around with process of elimination. That's so definitely right. Okay. Thus speeding up your test, because you are fighting the clock. This is the fastest way to do this type of question. So sometimes, yeah, you can use, you definitely want to use process of elimination, but for a reference question, actually I think it's easier to do it the opposite way. Figure out the answer before you look at the answers and try to figure out which one is correct. It's much faster. Okay, next question type, lead word questions. All right. The layer of the shell called the executicle is strong because, okay, remember earlier I had mentioned you may want to rephrase the question. And the last two question types is very direct and very simple. Okay, so we might say, why is the executicle strong? Okay, they're giving half a sentence. So what we're going to look for in the reading passage, let's rephrase it, the layer of the shell called the executicle is strong because, all right, what they're really asking, what are they truly asking? They're not even putting it in the form of a question. So putting it in the form of the question, why is the executicle strong? Okay, this is called the lead word question. Here is the text.
But you will need to find the answer for this question to this question in the whole text, or there will be like here the piece of text.
Actually, it'll probably be the paragraph.
Do you mean it will be here, like below the question will be paragraph?
Ah, no. Oh, okay, I see. I'm sorry. Okay. You're right.
Let's go to the main text to search there.
You have to find it in the passage. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you. You're absolutely correct. I'm sorry.
Don't cheat.
Don't cheat. Yeah, I'm cheating. That's right. So the reason that we're actually rephrasing the question, why is the executicle strong, is because you're absolutely right. Because we need to be able to find it by noting the keyword. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you want to scan. You want to scan for the whole thing? Oh my God! Now I'm lost. Uh-oh. Totally lost.
Like 800 pages there. Oh, 574 pages.
574 to be exact. Yeah. All right. So okay, fine. That's fine. You have the whole thing. What are we looking for? Executicle. No. Executicle. No. Endocuticle. 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 Executicle. There it is. So what I did is I just scanned down from the top until I could quickly find executicle. Here it is. Okay, so as soon as I see it, I'm going to read this from here on down. Okay, Faisal.
Okay.
Can you read this? Yes, thank you.
The new critical is pushed upward by the formation of the new sheets by the epidermis. It becomes the middle of shell layer called the exocuticle. With its molecules bonded so tightly, the exocuticle very durable. There are points of the body where it does not form since flexibility is needed around the joints. This arrangement allows to suffer movement but provides armor-like protection.
Okay. I don't even know if we needed to go that far. So the question we're asking ourselves as we're looking at this, why is the executicle so strong? Well, Vaishal?
My answer is at the third paragraph, with its molecules bound itself tightly, the executicle is very durable. Durable is some same meaning
Strong.
as strong. Yeah.
Exactly. Durable has the same meaning as strong. Okay, this is exactly what they do. They give you synonyms. Okay. Very good. Now, where was I? My goodness. Lead word. Okay. Do we have... Oh, looky here. So that would be what, Faisal?
Its molecules are closely bonded. Closely
Okay.
means tightly.
Yes, it does. Very good. And this is what happens in the TOEFL test. Yes, you're looking for synonymous phrases and word combinations. A lot of this test. Okay. So, wow, do we even need to go any further? That is such a tight fit to what is in the reading passage. Personally, I would save myself some time. Maybe give a quick look, drier, fibers, water resistant. Okay, yeah, no. But basically, all right, again, I'm using the strategy of a slightly different strategy. I'm making the statement into a question, answering that question with the passage and looking for that answer. Looking for that answer directly in the test. What happened? Where am I? Oh, okay. Okay, enough. Let's go on to number 4, detail questions. Okay. Okay, this is examples. They're talking about examples. All right. According to paragraph 2 of the passage, an arthropod shell is similar to human hair and fingernails in that. Now, of course, in some questions, it will tell you exactly where to go. In this case, Michael, you wouldn't have to look at the whole passage. They would probably only display paragraph 2. It would,
Okay.
regardless if they do or don't, it's kind of silly because it's going to be pretty easy to find paragraph 2. Okay. Right. It's a little easier because the question tells you exactly where to look. All right. Fine. So, again, all right, to help yourself out, you could rephrase the question. Michael, how might you rephrase this question?
According to paragraph 2 of the passage, an arthropod shell is similar. Wait a little. An arthropod shell is similar to human hair and fingernails. In what is similar arthropod shell to human hair and fingernails?
Okay. In what way? Okay.
In what way?
Fine. Or how? In what way or how? Yeah, you got it. Yes. Very good. Okay, and we even know where to look. All right. So, Michael, let's see here. Here's the section.
Okay. Though the shell itself is made of dead tissue, like that of human hair, fingernails, it is dotted with sensory cells. These give the arthropod information about its surroundings, much as the nerve endings in human skin do. Also, like human skin, the shell protects fragile internal or fragile?
Yeah, people pronounce that differently. Fragile. I pronounce it fragile.
Fragile. Internal organs from potentially hazardous contact with the environment. So, What was the question? And what is similar human hair and fingernails? Arthropod.
Yeah. In what way is whatever it was similar to human hair and fingernails?
1 second. So let's get rid of. So the main, as far as I understand, the main sentence is that is highlighted. Yeah, is in bold.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's something different.
No, it's different.
Yeah.
So, so they protect fragile internal organs. And this.
Okay. Wait a minute. All right.
They protect, the main verb. Let's go quickly before I didn't forget. I don't forget my answer.
Okay. Really? Okay. It contains few sensory. It has several layers. It is made of dead tissue. It is made of cellulose.
Opa, there is no my answer. Let's go once again to the paragraph.
To the passage?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, okay.
Once again, it is dotted with sensory cells.
Okay. It is dotted with sensory shells. Sensory
Yeah.
shells. Sensory
Yeah.
cells. Blah.
Oh, A. Number A.
This is a trap.
Why?
It is dotted with sensory cells. Is not really the same as it contains few sensory cells. You've overthunk yourself. Why?
Over what?
Yeah, I know. It's not a real word. You overthought it. Answer A is a trap. If you read carefully, the passage doesn't say that human hair and fingernails have sensory cells, only that the shell does. Ah, so they are not like that at all. B is not mentioned in this part of the passage at all, and D is not mentioned at all. Okay? It does, however, mention the shell itself is made of dead tissue, like, here's the key, like that of human hair and fingernails. All right? It's most closely related to human hair and fingernails, which is our key words there. Okay? A is the trap answer. A is the answer you're supposed to answer so they can trick you.
Okay.
Right? Be aware. That's what they do. B and D are just a waste of time. They're not there at all. It is made of dead tissues. Yes. So do not overthink your answers and make sure that usually it's the closest thing, by the way. Not always, but usually it is.
What do you mean the closest?
Closest in relation, you're relating two things to each other. Whatever, shells and human hair. So the closest word, it talks about sensory organs a sentence or two later.
Okay.
Closest in actual proximity. Okay, so wrong answers, right? Often not mentioned at all, or mentioned, and the trap questions, but beyond the specific lines needed to answer the question. They're not really there. So what are we doing? Strategy, rephrasing our questions, using keywords to find the place in the passage if it's not given to us. Usually if the answer is not immediately obvious, you have to read a few lines before or after. State the answer to the question in your own words. In those situations where we were ignoring the answers, finding the material, and figuring it out, state the answer in your own words, in different words, because that's what they do in TOEFL. They're going to, again, use synonymous vocabulary or phrases. So that helps a lot if you're rephrasing things. Okay, paraphrase questions. Okay. Oh boy, paraphrasing. Okay. Which of the following choices best expresses the essential meaning of the highlighted sentences in paragraph 7? The bold sentence, which you were talking about, that's what this means. There's going to be a paraphrase question. Okay, again, I'm not going to look at the answers. I'm going to go directly to the lines in question. The shaded portion. Where is the shaded portion? What? Okay, maybe it's just not shaded here. All right. Okay. They will direct you to exactly where. Paragraph 7, highlighted sentence. Okay, I guess it's this. Okay. Again, now this is where we're using our strategy we talked about in last class about reducing sentences to the basic elements of subject, verb, and object. This isn't helpful until it hardens. I don't know what it is. Okay. Oh, the shell, right? Or the coat. Oh, until it hardens the new coat. I'm sorry. There it is. Okay, I can get rid of this information here. The new coat is tender. It easily penetrated. Okay. Accordingly, so the arthropod must remain in hiding. How can I reduce this? Otherwise, it risks being snapped up by a predator clever enough to take advantage of its lower defenses. Well, that's a totally meaningless information. It risks, it may. You see information like this, it's not essential information. Okay. All right, so trimming the fat, we get rid of but until it hardens, as I just said. The new coat is tender. Okay, accordingly, or so, we can basically cut that out. The arthropod must remain in hiding. All right. And all this other stuff is relatively meaningless. Okay. It risks being snapped up by a predator. Oh, all right. So what are our answers? Ishmael, what do you think here? What most closely resembles what we reduced down?
Arthropods are only vulnerable to predators during the period in which their shell is tender and easily. It looks like okay, but maybe we should the other.
It does look okay, but maybe we should look at some others. Yeah.
The other side. Predators typically prefer to eat arthropods that are waiting for their new coats to harden. It is not correct, I think, or full.
Yeah,
while the arthropod shell is hardening, the arthropod cannot rely on itself to protect it from predators. Partially correct, but not exactly. When the arthropod's defenses are lowered, it will use many different steps to evade predators. It's partially correct, but not exactly okay, I think.
Yeah, they don't use many different strategies. It's not in the reading. So, yeah, that can't be right. The idea that predators typically prefer, they don't really mention, you said this was wrong, and I'm agreeing with you. It's not in the reading material. It doesn't say what what or when predators prefer to eat them. It just says it's possible they will eat them. And they're vulnerable to be eaten. Okay, so you're stuck with A or C. Which do you think has more of the elements of that passage? Because you remember there was two elements about the... I'm kind of getting hungry thinking about these things. There were two elements. Thinking about the new coat is tender and easily penetrated, and it may be snapped up by a predator.
Yes.
Which one do you think, A or C?
Arthropods are only vulnerable to during the period in which their shell is tender and is
Which one?
hardening. The arthropod cannot separate from predators.
Pick one. Well,
A is, I think.
I think you're right. Whichever one more directly. This is the problem with TOEFL. Both of these answers do relate to the passage. Which one relates better? Which one is more directly? It definitely has to have, if there's two elements, predators, tender, penetrated shell. It has to have the most basic keywords or elements, and it has to be the one that most directly relates to oh, we can eliminate A. Oh, okay. I see. I would have picked A.
Ha ha ha.
I see. That's why I hate this test. This makes no sense to me. I hate this. Okay. Wait. What does it say? Start with A. It does mention arthropods and predators, which is good. However, we're missing some information. There's no mention of hiding. What? They're only vulnerable during this period. What? Okay. Oh. Okay. They're only vulnerable during this period. Oh, it is assuming information. It is assuming they're not vulnerable when they do have a shell. Oh, I hate this. Okay, so that's a trap. I got trapped. See how easy it is? Even I get stuck by these. Bleep, 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 bleep. That's me swearing and swearing, but not saying it out loud. Okay. B is problematic because it makes predators the subject. All right. We should have something that talks about arthropods. Okay. Predators typically. All right. If they eliminate the focus, the main focus on the subject. Okay, I understand that. Now look at C. It first mentions the weakened shell. Next it says the arthropod cannot rely on its shell. All right. But first this doesn't seem to match. All right. But sentence 2 stated that the creature must remain in hiding. This is an example of not relying on its shell. And then it mentions predators. Wow, that is tough. All right. This is what normally happens, okay? And this is why it is impossible to get a perfect score on this test, in my opinion. Okay, there you go. Perfect example. You will end up with two choices. This is almost what always happens. You end up with two choices, and you have to pick two choices, which, frankly, are probably both correct. One is more correct than the other one. There you go. Oh, yeah, even I get them wrong. I told you that. I wasn't kidding. Wow. Okay. All right. So, okay, eliminate answers that introduce new information. Okay. These answers will always be wrong. Okay. Identify the subject of the sentence. All right. Okay, they're even their their strategy tips does not help in that. Wow, bummer. Okay, next. Okay, definition questions. Click on the highlighted sentence in the passage in which the author gives a definition. All right, definition question. Okay, we don't have to. It's a pretty direct question. No need to really rephrase the question. Okay. All right. Here are the questions. Highlighted sentence in the passage, which the author gives a definition. Okay. All right. So we're looking at 4 sentences which are shown. The sentences are highlighted, so we know where to find them. Okay, so you just have to look at these sentences and figure out which one is a definition, I guess. So here they are. Hi there. Welcome.
Hi, Oakley. Sorry about last class because I lost my connection. Even just now, it is back to me. So sorry about this.
Oh, no problem at all. Faisal, let's try this. Read these for me. Do you think this could be defining something?
These give the author information about its surroundings, much as nerve endings in human skin.
Okay.
Continue.
Is that a definition?
No. No.
Okay.
What is
think
the
that's
paragraph?
no.
It's a comparison.
Where's the
Where's
paragraph?
the paragraph?
Give me the paragraph.
Okay, hang on. Wait.
How you can understand if the definition is right if we didn't read the paragraph?
Okay, hang on.
What you're comparing with? With the air?
Okay. See there that we are not comparing with anything. You're looking in the actual. They're separated. Do you see this? This is what they look like, Michael. They are spread out all over. Okay. These are the highlighted sentences. They're everywhere.
So what should we do with them?
So the job is to figure out which one of them is actually defining something. Which one is used as a definition.
Okay. So just read them one. So
okay.
you read and you kind of figure out by the context.
Hopefully, or you may have to. You're right. You may have to look at the sentence before. All right. Okay, Faisal, you say the first one is no good.
Yeah.
Why? What is this? Much as the nerve. Okay, it's making a comparison, right?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Okay. What about this next one?
Primary component is chitin, a natural polymer that contains calcium and is very similar in structure to cellulose in wood. This word, the second after the comma, is explaining the primary component, the chitin.
In fact, you could get rid of the comma and say chitin is a natural polymer that contains calcium. How's that sound to you?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Sounds really good. All right, I will briefly check the next couple. Combine the endocuticle, excuticle, and lipid coating form a shell that provides formidable protection. That in no way resembles a A definition: many species of scorpions, for instance, have cuticles. That's clearly an example. There you go. So there's the problem. Okay, so one of them was pretty clearly, we're going to go with 2. Let's see if we're right on this one. Please. No more mistakes. Okay. Where's the answer? Oh, where's the answer? Okay. In fact, it does. Yes, your answer is correct. Hooray. Okay. Oh, dear. Now it's very close to the end of the class. We are not going to get to even the most difficult questions. Okay. This one we can actually skip because I don't think these really exist anymore, or they're extremely rare. The idea here is to say make a guess what a paragraph, the next paragraph might say, or what a paragraph which came before might be about. Okay, in which case obviously you're going to have to read the entire paragraph to get an idea. And okay, if you're looking for the paragraph before and what the subject may be, you're going to have to look at the paragraph and the paragraph before that and see what you could squeeze in between them. And likewise, if it's what might the topic of the paragraph be after, you have to look at the paragraph and the paragraph after that. This is very similar to the sentence insertion, except you're inserting just basically the heading or the topic of a paragraph in between. I don't see those anymore. I don't see any point in really doing that. I haven't seen one of those in a long, long time. Okay, which brings us to sentence insertion, I think. Indeed. These you will definitely see. Okay, unfortunately, we are out of time. All right, let's close this class, but actually when we come back for class 3, I want to finish the question types because we only have 3 more, and then we'll start practicing. I definitely want to do this because we've done all the easy questions. Now it's time for the hard ones and the strategies for looking at these. So thank you very much. And I'll be right back in a minute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys.